Hi my dear children, welcome to yet another class of biology. We are discussing our second chapter, microorganisms friend and foe, and we are discussing the beneficial uses or friendly microorganism. We are discussing about the beneficial uses or friendly microorganisms, the microorganisms which are helpful for us, friendly microorganisms. Microorganisms helps in the decomposition of organic waste like vegetable peels, etc. That means bacteria. Bacteria act on decomposing waste and converts it into manure. Then it increases certain bacteria like rhizobium increases the soil fertility. Then next is the bacteria called the lactobacillus. Bacteria Lactobacillus helps in the or converts the milk into curd. It converts, this lactobacillus converts milk into curd. It promotes the formation of curd. It multiplies in curd. Then a certain bacteria is also used in the preparation of cheese. Then pickles, etc. Bacteria is also used in the preparation of cheese, pickles, etc. Bacteria and yeast, unicellular fungus, it helps in the preparation of idlis, the rice idlis and dosha batter. Bacteria and yeast is also used in the preparation of rice idlis and dosha batter. Also, yeast is also used in the preparation of dough for making appam, etc. Yeast rapidly reproduces in this batter, and during that process, yeast respire. You studied in previous class that the fermentation process, yeast respire anaerobically. Yeast respire anaerobically in the absence of oxygen, and during that process, a process takes place called fermentation. And fermentation, what is fermentation? It is the process of conversion of sugar into alcohol. It is the process of fermentation is the process of conversion of sugar into alcohol, and during this time carbon dioxide is also produces. It increases the volume of the dough. By the production of carbon dioxide, the volume of the dough will increases and the dough will become smooth and soft. This is the basis of using the yeast. This fermentation process is the basis of using yeast in baking industry, making cakes, then making breads, then pastries and cakes. This fermentation process of yeast is applied or used in the baking industry, then cake making, bread making, etc. The volume of the dough is increased by the production of carbon dioxide. During fermentation process, carbon dioxide is also produced together with the alcohol. That is the fermentation process is the conversion of sugar into alcohol. And during that process, carbon dioxide is also produced. Thus the smell of alcohol, this is the smell of alcohol as sugar is converted into alcohol. But during fermentation, sugar is converted into alcohol, and thus we get a sweet smell for the dough. Next is the medicinal use of microorganisms. Medicinal use. Microorganisms are used in medical industries, medical field, production of medicines. medicinal use of microorganisms. Medicinal uses. Microorganisms are used in the preparation of certain antibiotics. Which is the first antibiotic prepared, discovered? Penicillin. Penicillin is the first antibiotic prepared by whom? Prepared by Alexander Fleming. Alexander Fleming, the famous scientist, accidentally discovered. Alexander Fleming accidentally discovered which antibiotic? Penicillin. And certain other antibiotics, and numerous antibiotics are produced with the help of bacteria. Streptomycin, azithromycin. These are the common antibiotics, and these antibiotics are prepared using with the help of bacteria like Streptococcus, etc. Streptomycin, tetracycline, erythromycin are some of the antibiotics prepared with the help of bacteria. And antibiotics are even mixed with livestock to feed the animals, to cure the diseases of poultry animals. Antibiotics are also used. Then vaccines. Vaccines are also prepared with the help of microorganisms. This the vaccines against smallpox, then against typhoid, polio. These all vaccines are also prepared with the help of microorganisms like bacteria and fungi. Then increasing the soil fertility, that bacteria like rhizobium, and there are so many other free living bacteria in soil. The free living bacteria like Azotobacter, Clostridium. These are some of the bacteria that lives in soil. This bacteria also helps in fixing atmospheric nitrogen. They are not symbiotic. They live freely in the soil. They helps in the fixing of nitrogen. And this bacteria or fungi is also used in the cleaning up of environment. That the fungi lives on decaying and dead and decaying materials, and they take the nutrients from the dead and decaying matter, and these nutrients are then mixed with the soil. Next is about harmful microorganisms. These are some of the useful microorganisms which are helpful to us. First one is they help in soil fertility. Then microorganisms like yeast and bacteria is used in the preparation of the idlis and the dosha batter, and yeast is used in the cake industry, baking industry, because it is the basis of fermentation process. Yeast is thus do fermentation process by respiring, and alcohol and carbon dioxide is produced. The production of carbon dioxide increases the volume of the dough. Then another use of microorganisms is used in preparation of medicine. Antibiotics and vaccines are also prepared with the help of microorganisms. Penicillin was the first antibiotic. It was discovered by Alexander Fleming. It was accidentally prepared when he growing a culture of bacteria. Certain bacteria cannot live near when there is a region of fungus, and the fungus produce a certain chemical against that bacteria, and when he studied on that chemical, he noticed it's a a fungus called Penicillium notatum produce certain chemicals which stops the growth of bacteria, and that chemical is the antibiotic called penicillin. So what are antibiotics? Antibiotics are medicines that act against bacteria to kill or stop their growth. Antibiotics are chemicals that kill or stop the growth of bacteria. Next is microorganisms are also helpful for us in increasing the soil fertility, then cleaning up the environment. Next is harmful microorganisms. Microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Certain microorganisms can cause diseases to us. Such microorganisms are called pathogens. Pathogens. So what are pathogens? Microorganisms that can cause harmful diseases to organisms, human beings, animals or plants. Such microorganisms are called pathogens. Microorganisms that can cause harmful diseases are called pathogens. And these microorganisms cause certain diseases called communicable diseases. Microorganisms are present, we know they are present in our air, in water, etc., in soil, etc. So when we breathe or when we sneeze or cough, if we have a disease, that pathogen or microorganism will spread in the air, and if another person, healthy person, inhales this air, he will become addicted to that disease. So what is communicable disease? Microbial diseases that spread from one person to another either through air or through water or through contact is called communicable diseases. Communicable diseases. What is meant by communicable diseases? Diseases that spread from one person to another either through air or through water or through physical contact are called communicable diseases. Example, common cold caused by virus. Then chicken pox is also caused by virus. Then common cold, chicken pox, tuberculosis. These diseases can spread from one person to another through air, water. The microbes can spread through air, water or through physical contact, and it can enter the body of healthy person from a diseased person. And certain organisms act as carriers of disease. Some diseases can happen from one person to another with the help of another organism. Such an organism is called a carrier. For example, malaria can be transferred from one person to another with the help of mosquito. The chikungunya, then dengue fever, these diseases are carried from one person to another by biting of mosquito. Mosquito act as the carriers of diseases like malaria, dengue fever, chikungunya, etc. Another disease called this elephantiasis, you know, that disease is also spread by mosquito. This mosquito carries the pathogen from one person to another. When it bites the blood of a diseased person, the microorganism will enter into the body of mosquito, and when the mosquito bites a healthy person, the disease is transferred to that healthy person. So it acts as a carrier. Most common viral diseases are spread through mosquito. So we have to take certain measures to avoid the spreading of diseases with the help of use by the mosquito. So mosquitoes are to be destroyed using certain applications in our house. Then our surroundings should be clean, avoid what is in near our surroundings. We have to keep dry day. Okay, that's we have to do certain things to avoid the spreading of mosquito. Okay, thank you children.